the WNBA's internal sabotage, and shadow war against Caitlin Clark's success. An urgent call to join the inner circle and support the investigation. The WNBA front office's predatory tactics to control Clark's independent power. Introduction of the LPGA Alliance and their secret coalition to rescue Clark. Corporate strategies used by the LPGA to bypass corrupt WNBA gatekeepers. Evidence of veteran-led physical harassment and locker room bullying campaigns. The LPGA's legal case against the league for breach of fiduciary duty. The final collapse of WNBA leadership as Clark escapes to safety.
Yo, if you love real basketball stories, deep dives, and the drama behind the game, you're in the right place. But if you want to take it to the next level, hit that join button. Members get exclusive content, early access, and behind-the-scenes drops you won't see anywhere else. Plus, you're directly supporting the channel and helping us bring you even better content. So if you rock with Basketball Spilled, become a member today. Let's keep the game alive.
The WNBA fights a shadow war right now to destroy the greatest asset they have ever held. While the world watches Caitlin Clark break records, a corrupt inner circle of league executives and jealous veterans works overtime to dismantle her career. Systemic sabotage happening behind closed doors exists to ruin her reputation permanently, and this is no longer just about basketball. Professional ethics faced a total meltdown when the WNBA front office allowed a coordinated smear campaign to take root against their own star. Hidden power moves from the outside are about to change everything, which is something the league executives never anticipated. Before we expose the deep state politics of the WNBA, you need to join the truth seekers in our inner circle. Mainstream media ignores the real evidence, but we are the only ones digging up the truth behind these closed-door meetings. Joining the inner circle gives you access to our exclusive weekly documentaries and supports the investigation into this professional hit job. Your support through the hype button and super thanks helps us protect the future of the game from those who want to suppress it. Standing against the league's false narrative starts here, and every member of our community helps us bring these unfiltered stories to light. Corruption originates at the very peak of the hierarchy because the front office fears Caitlin Clark's independent power. They recognized early on that she does not require the league's permission to be a global superstar, and that realization turned her into an immediate target. Growth terrified the league executives, and their response was a campaign of professional isolation that shattered their long-standing business model in mere weeks. Instead of embracing the new eyes on the sport, the league created contract loopholes that leave her vulnerable to predatory marketing deals. These cold and calculated moves exist to keep her under their thumb, ensuring she never becomes bigger than the WNBA brand itself. And this is where it gets worse, because a secret coalition coalesced in the shadows to provide Clark with a massive escape hatch. The LPGA quietly organized high-level executives and billionaire sponsors to insulate Clark from this internal WNBA hostility. This LPGA Alliance functions as a corporate powerhouse that understands how to protect individual female brands from toxic environments. Watching the league treat its rising stars like enemies convinced these leaders to intervene before the damage became irreversible. They already started deploying their massive corporate connections to neutralize the front office sabotage Clark faces daily. This coalition provides her with a legal and financial buffer that the WNBA cannot touch, effectively creating a league within a league. The LPGA recognized the pattern of corruption when they noticed how WNBA sponsors faced pressure to downplay Clark's impact. Corruption runs so deep that league officials reportedly told major brands to pivot their marketing toward older, less popular veterans to keep the locker room from exploding. The LPGA Alliance stepped in and offered Clark a direct line to their most powerful partners, which meant she could bypass the WNBA's gatekeepers entirely. This unprecedented move in sports history involves one professional organization actively saving an athlete from the clutches of another. The LPGA knows that if Clark's brand loses value because of WNBA politics, the entire landscape of women's sports will suffer. They utilize years of experience in managing high-profile individual careers to give Clark the power she needs to fight back. But the WNBA's predatory behavior extended beyond the business side of the game. A culture of physical and mental harassment flourished under the guise of competition because the league allowed it to grow unchecked. A pact between multiple veterans exists to ensure Clark stays targeted on the court, and this isn't about playing hard. These players want to cause career-ending injuries to an athlete they view as an outsider. The front office looked the other way during flagrant fouls and blatant locker room bullying to serve their specific narrative. They want to prove that Clark lacks the toughness for their league, even if it means sacrificing her physical safety in the process. Case building is already underway as the LPGA Alliance documents these instances of systemic sabotage for a massive legal counterstrike. They are not just watching from the sidelines, and their legal team is currently constructing a case against the WNBA for breach of fiduciary duty and workplace harassment. Evidence gathered by the Alliance shows a clear pattern of the league prioritizing veteran egos over the safety and success of their biggest draw. Elite investigators now track how information flows from the WNBA front office to smear Clark's character in the press. Every hit piece appearing in the media is tracked back to league-sanctioned talking points designed to ruin her reputation. Isolation was the goal for the WNBA, but they failed to realize that the LPGA possesses much deeper pockets and stable corporate relationships. The LPGA Alliance is currently negotiating a massive sponsorship package that would allow Clark to walk away from certain WNBA-mandated appearances designed to humiliate her. High-stakes sports forensics are in play here, and every move made by the league is being recorded and analyzed by experts. The league's attempts to sabotage Clark only made her more valuable to the people who actually understand the business of sports. The LPGA is proving that they are the only organization capable of handling a star of this magnitude without letting petty jealousy get in the way. While the front office tries to suppress Clark, the situation in the locker room reached a fever pitch. Veterans have turned their teams into toxic environments where Clark is treated like an enemy rather than a teammate. These players feel terror because Clark's success exposes just how little they have done to grow the game over the last 20 years. They utilize their influence to create a veteran-led mutiny that involves freezing her out during games and ignoring her in team huddles. This coordinated effort exists to make her look like the problem in the locker room, but the reality is she is the victim of a jealous culture. Statistics reveal a disturbing trend where Clark is denied the same protections as other stars, which means she is fouled at a higher rate with far fewer whistles. This is no accident, and it comes as a directive from a league that wants to see her fail so they can reclaim control over the narrative. The veterans act as the enforcers of this corrupt system, doing the dirty work for a front office that wants to keep its hands clean. They use old-school excuses to justify what is actually targeted harassment and professional sabotage. Every missed call on the court is another piece of evidence being filed away by the LPGA legal team. What the cameras missed were the private group chats, where the sole topic was how to haze Clark right out of the league. These communications between veterans prove that their intent was always malicious from the start. They didn't just want to win games, they wanted to destroy her brand and make her a laughingstock in front of the world. This locker room cancer spread to multiple teams and created a league-wide hostile work environment. WNBA leadership not only allowed this to happen but actively encouraged it by rewarding players who spoke out against Clark in the media. Experience in other industries taught the LPGA Alliance exactly how to handle this, so they provided her with elite mental performance coaches and private security. These experts spot the signs of sabotage before they happen, giving Clark a tactical advantage over her bullies. The Alliance is also working on a strategy that separates Clark's identity from the WNBA entirely. They want the world to see her as a global icon who just happens to play in a corrupt league, rather than a WNBA player who struggles to fit in. This insulation ensures that her market value remains high even if the league tries to tank her career. Insider statements from former staffers describe a front office focused on internal power struggles rather than actual basketball, and this evidence is mounting every day. They intentionally sidelined Clark in promotional materials and try to block her from signing independent endorsement deals. This is a clear attempt to limit her financial independence, so she remains dependent on the league's corrupt structure. The WNBA operates like a cartel rather than a professional sports organization, and the LPGA is the only force strong enough to break their grip. Every blocked deal and every hidden promotion is being logged as part of the ongoing investigation. Despite the smear campaign painting her as entitled, Clark remains the most professional player on the court, while toxic teammates spend their time complaining about her fame. The facts tell a different story than the one the league office pushes to reporters. She consistently outworks everyone else, yet she is the one being punished for the league's growth. The real locker room cancer is the group of veterans who care more about their own egos than the success of the sport. These players are the architects of their own downfall because they are driving away the very fans who pay their salaries. Bullies picked the wrong target this time, and the final buzzer is approaching for the league's corrupt leadership as they face a coalition they cannot control. They thought they could bully a young player into submission, but they ignored the power of the LPGA Alliance. The coalition already secured the power needed to move Clark into a position of total financial dominance. If the WNBA doesn't purge its corrupt elements and rein in its toxic veterans, they will lose their biggest star to a coalition that actually knows how to treat a professional athlete. The LPGA built a bridge to safety, and Clark is ready to cross it while the WNBA burns behind her. Small-mindedness led the league to choose jealousy over progress, and that decision turned Clark into the catalyst for their much-needed destruction. This is the ultimate result of a league that refused to evolve when the opportunity arrived. The front office and the veterans thought they could protect their small kingdom by destroying a newcomer, but all they did was expose their own rot. The LPGA Alliance is not just saving Caitlin Clark, they are exposing the entire WNBA as a failed experiment in predatory management. Corruption is so deep that only a total collapse will allow for something better to be built in its place. A sinking ship is all the WNBA is now, and the rats are fighting over crumbs while Clark prepares to sail away on a vessel provided by the LPGA. The LPGA showed the world what real professional support looks like, making the WNBA's petty politics look like amateur hour. There is no coming back from the level of betrayal the league showed toward its biggest star. The veterans can keep their locker room and their unwritten rules, while Clark takes her millions and her fans to an organization that respects her. The smear campaign failed, the sabotage was documented, and the Alliance won the first round of this war. Permanent stains mark the history of the sport, and every executive who authorized the sabotage will eventually have to answer for their actions. Every veteran who participated in the bullying helped destroy the league's credibility. The LPGA Alliance is moving toward the final phase of their intervention, which involves a total rebranding of Clark's career outside of league control. They are neutralizing the WNBA's influence one contract at a time, ensuring that Clark remains the most powerful woman in sports. The league's attempt to ruin her only resulted in her becoming more untouchable than ever before. Panic has gripped the WNBA front office now that their power is slipping away to a coalition that outmaneuvered them at every turn, proving they were playing a game of chess against an opponent in a different sport entirely. They tried to suppress a global phenomenon, and the result was a massive exodus of sponsors and fans. People are tired of the constant drama and the targeted hate coming from the league office. They had a chance to change the world with Caitlin Clark, but they were too small-minded to see the opportunity. Now they have to watch as their influence vanishes. Clark stands as the hero of this story while the WNBA remains the undisputed villain that tried to take her down and failed. The LPGA Alliance served as the secret weapon that changed the tide of the war and gave the underdog the strength to win. We will continue to follow this investigation as the Alliance prepares to drop the final hammer on the league's corrupt leadership. The truth is coming out, and no amount of PR spin or veteran whining can stop it. The WNBA is about to learn that when you try to bury a star, you only end up digging your own grave. Internal rot is finally exposed to the light, and the LPGA Alliance is the only reason Clark's brand survived this predatory management style. From the predatory contracts to the locker room mutinies, the WNBA proved itself to be a toxic environment for any real talent. The Alliance is the guardian of a new era where players are no longer at the mercy of corrupt front offices and jealous peers. The era of WNBA corruption is ending, and the era of Caitlin Clark's independence is just beginning. Every document leaked and every witness statement filed brings us closer to the end of the old guard. The WNBA built a cage for their biggest star, but they forgot that some birds are too big for containment, and now Clark is finally free. The LPGA opened the door, and the league is now left staring at an empty room while the world moves on without them. The veterans can have their league of jealousy and mediocrity, but the real power already left the building. This was a masterclass in how to ruin a reputation. Only the reputation that got ruined was the WNBA's own. The league is the architect of its own downfall, and Caitlin Clark is finally free from their corrupt grip.